Welcome back to Stock Market Tips, Secrets to Success by David Diaz. If you need to know more information about me, why don't you go to www.ceodaviddiaz.com and check us out. The last section, we checked on different types of screeners. We also checked on what do we need in order to formulate a watch list. We checked that we need a pattern price. We need to check the volume, risk reward, entry exit, past performance, history of spiking, at what time of day are you attempting to enter, reasons or catalysts for entering a trade, and what is the market environment. We're going to look at these in depth now in this section. How? We're going to take a look at some of the softwares that I use on a regular basis to trade. So let's go and jump into paper trading in Thinkorswim. So this is an example of trading with fake money before you get started. You see, there are many people who are afraid to lose their money. And the reality is, yep, it's possible. You could lose your money. However, it's also possible that you could double it or that you can make 5-10% gains. I don't know. Either way, it is possible. But you are entitled to believe what you want to believe. If you only believe that there's lack, then eventually you're going to have lack. So you've got to make up your mind. Are you going to be focused on the positive end or are you going to focus on the negative end? So let's look at this a little bit clearly. And I want to show you, this is the way it usually pops up, just like that. I'm going backwards here so that you can see how I do this when I go back in. This is normally what a paper trading comes up, or even live trading. It'll give you the amount of money that you have here. This is, again, a paper trade account. So this is $200,000 limit that they give me. Forex buying power, 10,000. Net liquid assets, 200. Cash sweep, 200,000. So, and then you have other sections here to click on. You have monitor, you have trade, you have an analyze, scan, market watch, charts, tools, educational. Here you can learn and listen to videos and so on, and on how to utilize this software. Why? Because this software has a lot to do. I don't know everything, but as far as what I know, I'm amazed with it already. Yep, you can utilize this software to see on 6 different monitors if you like. You just create windows and then you plop them open to the right and so on. But we're going to look at this into detail, and we're also going to look, first of all, how to formulate a watch list. This software has a screener on its own. In order to utilize the screener, there's a few different things that I look for on stocks. Number one, let's look at the left side. Here we have the live news. This is news for the overall market. So let's just click at the latest one here. I don't know what it's going to say. Let's see. Labor, protect worker rights, not gig employers. The Canadian Labor Congress, blah, 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 blah. So that's about Canada. So let's see this next one here. Immunic gets bullish rating on multiple sclerosis drug prospects. So IMUX is being talked about right now. So that's we could look at that, and then we'll come back to ZERS again. IMUX is being talked about. You can see it spiked. Geez, from yesterday, it went from 1451 all the way to 1645. Is that about a 10%, about 15% gain if I had to guess? And then it dropped right back. A lot of these stocks, this is what you're going to see, just like that. So if you want to see your chart for the last year, then you go here. I'm going to do that again. You're going to go here where the D is, right? And then here you could choose by the minute, by the 5 minute, 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hour, by the week for the last 3 years. You can also customize and do what your own settings if you'd like. What are these time frames? Yeah. So here you can also customize as well. So you see it's on an uptrend, and all of a sudden it gets to here and it hits the peak, and then it starts to drop pretty much, except for this peak and except for that spike that's happening right now that on a daily basis I'm not going to show you until you go to the minute chart or something like that. You can see it right there. You can go to the 5 minute chart to even see it much more clearer, and that helps out. Now this volume, as you see, it's overlapping. If you don't like that, like I don't like that, it's easier when it's separated. Right now you can see, because here it tells you the amount of shares traded, 20,000 to 40,000. If it's in millions, it'll tell you here millions, but this is the one of the heaviest days of trading for this stock, IMUX, 40,000, and people sold off here. You see all that red? So let's get back to ZERS now, because I think ZERS helps me out. It's a little bit more clearer. Now ZERS is very similar. You see that it says here thousands. So it's 200,000 traded, 400,000 up here is probably what it is. And if you want to confirm that, you hover over the blue, right there, and then you see on the left at the bottom where it says volume, it should come to very close to that volume level. But there, let me see again. Well, somewhere in there, it's about 400,000. So it would come out here. Let's see this volume. You can see that it's 507. No, something's wrong with that, or either I'm making a mistake or something. Let me see if I can just zoom in. Yep, so that's 272,000 volume. That's much more accurate. So it was just that I was zoomed out too much, like this one, red. If you want to see the volume on that red right there, now you can see it on the left there. It's 200 right here. You just look here. When I hover over the red, 200 shares were traded. On the green, 1,100 shares were traded, and so on. So this is very important as you're building technical and fundamental analysis at the same time. In order to build a watch list, first we have to search for stocks. So you see here it says quick chart. The first thing I do is I erase this, delete, and then I add watch list, and then I add one more watch list. And I have two different watch lists. That's pretty much what I do. I mean, I can change these as much as I want. In here, once you click in there, select watch list, it'll give you current account positions, which I should have none because I don't use this program as much. All account positions, company profiles. So there they are. I'm guessing this will be a long list. Yep, very long list of company profiles. Social sentiment. This is what people are investing in right now in general. These are the top picks. And then you can also put the last price. You can go from low to high or from high to low. NA not available. I don't know exactly why those are listed that way, but I can tell you is that eventually they come out. So there you go. It goes from the higher ones right there, 300, 500, 1100. I don't know if Berkshire Hathaway is in here. Nope. So Amazon, 3,138. And then BKNG, I don't know what it stands for. If you ever wanted to link these together with this here, you can click here and put, let's say, the number 2, and then you can click here. Whoops. Give me a second. Click here, and you put the number 2, and boom, there it comes up. What is BKNG? Booking Holdings. I don't know what that is. It's just one of those companies that's doing very well, as you can see there. So my picks for this are 10% gainers, at least on the NASDAQ. 10% gainers. Let's see. Yep, right there. So, and then this one is like, I like, let's see if I can find here which one I like. You can, okay, so pre-market movers is good in the morning, post-market movers, analyst upgrades. So these are stocks that could be moving. Another one that I like is new yearly highs. If it's not in here, then I'd have to make that one up on my own. And you can have your own personal, which in the paper trading doesn't allow you, the simulated trading, but you could have that as well. So there are plenty to choose from, and I'd say just take a look at each one and see which ones you like. These analyst upgrades seem to be good. The only thing is, how do you know which is the one has been upgraded most recently? Because that's what you want to go by. So this EL seems to be like the most recent. So I'd click here, 2, and it should come up. Whoops, I've got to take this one out. So unlink, and then EL, there it is. Boom. It went from 280 to 293. Estee Lauder. Ha, that's what it is. So we all know what Estee Lauder is, I believe, or most people do. This is how you find certain types of stocks on one scale, right? The top 10% gainers. I like new yearly highs. It's not in here. It is in the real live trading application. So I don't know why it's not in here. Another way to be able to search for stocks is you go to scan here. Now, when I'm in paper simulating mode, it does get a little tricky, but I'm going to attempt to do it again. So what I do is I set up here stock net change. So let's say a stock changed by 0.50 cents. The volume, 50,000 volume minimum is traded, and the percentage change 2% or more. Or let's even make this 1%. Let's see what we get. 1%. 1%. There we go. So we get a list of the stocks that are currently trading. Now, since I got so many stocks, what I just do is I increase the volume to 500,000 and see if it decreases, because I don't need to see more than 5 or 10. Okay, I see many stocks again. So then I just add another 0 to 5 million and see what comes up. Still a lot of stocks. Wow. So now let's make it 10 million. So there we lost it. So let's just go back to 5 million. And what we can do is just change this number right here, percentage change, to 2%. Whoops, I put 3. 3%. Let's see here what comes up. So we've got a pretty good list. We could just play with these numbers here until we get exactly what we want. And it makes it easier for us to just search. So see, the list is getting smaller. So if I go here and make this 7%, let's see what happens. Yep, the list is getting even smaller. So I go up and make this 9% and see what happens. So that's a little bit more manageable list. I'm this current day that I'm trading, I was looking at HOFV, DLPN, APTO, and yeah, so they're still up there. They're still active. These are possibilities of making money with these. They're all, you can see the volume, they're all above 5 million, and I have 5 million. Then I said the stock net change 0.50 cents. They've all changed above 50 cents. You can see that. This is the minimum, 0.59. You can put these in order if you like, either, the lowest first or the highest first. There we go. That's Dolphin is the highest. You could do the same thing here as well, but only one line will change. Now, what I like about this lists the net change, percentage change, volume for this day, the bid and the ask, the high and the low of that same day, the earnings per share. This is the only one that has EPS, Phoenix New Media, the market cap of each of these stocks. There is no guarantee on which is the best one to invest in. I just say that the lower the market cap, the better of a chance there is to have more earnings in the stock. However, it could be wrong. I could be wrong, and that information keeps changing. Volume index, 183%, and so on. So this is how I check for my stocks. And once I pick out a few from here, I put them on a list, and then I look at the charts. There's easier ways to do this, but like you go in here, save as a watch list. You can do that. You can save it as a watch list. So you name it. Let's see, A, B, C, D. Save it as a watch list, right? This group, and then you go in here, and then personal, A, B, C, D, and there's the list. It pops up right away. So you go to charts, and then you make sure it's linked. You see it's not linked right now. This one's linked, so I'm unlinking this one, linking that one. And as you click, it should come up right away. DLPN, there it is. And if not, if you want to see the next one or the next one, that one looks pretty good. That one too looks pretty good. So these look pretty good. So look at that. So far, they look on a pretty good trend. This one's a little bit, it's all of a sudden gapping down here, but it could go back up. I'm just giving you a brief check on these stocks so that you can see how this software works and how I have it work for me. So how do I see the news for these stocks? There's two ways. Number one, this is the news for the overall market, as I believe I've stated before. right? Sony's hopes of countering Netflix in anime market delayed by antitrust probe. Uh-oh. So this is news just overall. If you want to see news for a specific stock, then you go down here. You click live news, and then it comes out right here. And since I see this empty space, usually I just put in level 2 in there. I don't really care much about it, but it just fills up a space and it looks pretty good. So I have it there. Now for trading, I like to have this up, and I like to have the time in sales. It'll pop up shortly there. So as if you want to trade, there's many ways to trade in here. Number one, you can right click right here, and it'll say buy, sell, buy custom, sell custom, create an alert. An alert is created if, for example, okay, the stock right now is at 195. Let's say it comes to here. So I could create an alert to alert me if the stock is below $1.80. Or let's even set it up higher so that you can see if it goes at $1.95. Let's see if the alert goes off. So I just set it up at $1.95. It should alert any second now. And if an alarm goes crazy for too long, sorry about that, because I set it up my software so I know the different tones. So mark is less than or equal to 195. So it should be in there somewhere. So it didn't go off. I don't know if it's just because it's the um, simulated software. I'm guessing that's why, but that's very useful. Anyhow, if you're looking at other stocks, you can take a look at that. Now, if you wanted to purchase into this, say you want to buy 10 shares, you see that it automatically filled here because I have it there, 10 shares. So it'll automatically fill. If you give it a moment, it's going to come up right here where I'm circling with my mouse. It didn't. So let's try that again. Let's see. So we can click up here to buy as well. You just click right there and it automatically, you got to be careful. If you have this clicked here and whatever amount of shares are here, that's what's going to buy. So you better be very careful that you don't have 1,000 or 100,000 in there. And then all of a sudden you're left for broke. You can see immediately that I'm losing money because it filled up at a higher price. This is the risk that you face when you buy at the market. It's the stock is actually 194. I never saw it go up here. Where have we seen it go up here? So it filled up at a very high price. Very high price. You've got to be careful with that. And that's one of the reasons why this is not good to have it marked off. When you right click in here, you can go buy and then edit. Now the same 10 shares come up in here. I know you can't see it, but it is 10 shares. And then you set a limit on the price that you want to buy. So let's say 195. 195. And you can do day, or you can do good until canceled, extended, which means at any time of the hour that it's available. Then you go in there and you purchase. Whoops. You go in there and then you purchase. Right? Now we wait to see that it fills up. So let me do that again so you can see it more automatically. Buy, edit. Let's see, 197. So let's put 197. 198. Just want to see it so it fills up right away. Should be able to fill up right away. Well, it dropped again. So then if you want to change this, since it dropped, cancel or replace, you go in here and put 196. So there you see it's canceled. It canceled the order here, right here where I have my mouse hovering. And then it should fill up any moment once this stock gets moving. Well, it's dropping, so it's not going to fill that quickly. So as we see that this stock is getting ready to be filled, let's see here. So we could change the price. So it fills at 195. Let's see if it fills up right now. See, I should have left it. It would have filled up right by now. 195. Should fill up now. Now I see it at 195. Time and sales doesn't come up, I'm guessing, because this is a simulated version, so it's not going to give you all that information. But you could get an idea here of where the price is right here. This is also another place you can buy or sell. You click one of these, it should come up. You see it. You click. I click with the left button, and it comes up: buy, sell, buy custom, but sell custom. Now, if I were to go into each and every one of these, this video would be very, very long. So it's up to you to learn how to utilize these softwares um, beyond what I'm attempting to teach you, because it's a lot of information to take in and grasp in one day, right? So as this is attempting to get filled, let's go look in here at analyze. And now we're looking at CSCW, right? And if you go into analyze, and again, whoops, you see that this has a number linked to it right here, number 2. You can have the same number linked right here, number 2, and it should pop up automatically right there. So now I know that 242 million shares have been traded today of CSCW. Down here should be more information popping up. It might be slow. It might, maybe the internet connection is not too great because I'm using Wi-Fi in a distant room. And this is for analysts who rate this stock. This stock is not rated. Why is it not rated? I don't know. I don't know. I don't see why, but it's not coming up as a rating for it. But we'll show you other ones that do have a rating. So Zers has a reduce or sell rating. Well, that's what it means. It means that it's not a good stock in the long term. However, when you look at the long term chart, this is the 1 minute right now. So we're going to go to 1 day, 1 year, 1 year, 1 day. And if you look at the whole chart, you can close this here and you zoom out. You can see it's on an uptrend, pretty much on an uptrend. It's on an uptrend. Spike there twice, spike there, spike, 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 spike. So it's somewhere in here right now. You can see that, okay, it's down right now. It makes sense to purchase because this stock should move up in the next several days or weeks and so on. Depends on how fast you're looking to get returns. Remember, the faster you're looking to get returns, the riskier the stock. So just be very, very careful as you're doing that. 4.8 ZERS. I just went to the minute chart and you can see everything in there. So if I wanted to sell the stock, whoops, look at that. CSCW just filled. So let's go back to CSCW so I can show you how to sell. So now I'm up 30 cents. Whoopie doo. So the stock went from 195 to 205 now, and $2, 2.005. So what I want to do is I want to sell, and what I can do is I can press flatten. I can sell 10 shares at a time, but you note I have 20 shares down here. So I can sell it all. So I'm just going to sell it all. I'm not worried about whether I'm making money here or not. This is just a sample so that you can see. So it posted a $1.30 loss because it filled up at 206. So you've got to be careful with these market. If you want to avoid market, this is how you avoid market. You're going to buy. Remember, this cannot be clicked because it will fill up automatically. Then you have 10 shares at $1.95. You have to have limit in here. You can have limit, you can have a stop, and these things you should look up. I use them. I don't use them all the time, but a trailing stop is what I like to use. But look them up and see what they stand for, because otherwise we'll be on here much longer than you'd like to have me on here. The next thing that we want to look at is, okay, first of all, monitor account statement. This is where you see all your investments right in here. Since I don't, let me see if let me just purchase something. Buy 10 shares, and it should fill up. And then let's go to monitor and see if it comes up. So we'll go to monitor. Let's see, account summary. No, it's not showing. Give me a second. Here we go. So these are the sales that I just did. The ones that I just bought and sold, and then this shows me the profit and loss. So this is my profit, 0.15%. It's $1.27 down, right? And Zers, it's 20 cents up. So this shows you that that's pretty much what you get from here, unless you're going to go into FX. I don't do foreign exchange, for forex currency. Sorry, forex currency, not foreign exchange. Then trade tab. The trade tab. I mean, do I use this? No, I don't really use this, but this is good for forex, for futures, active trader. This is what can be used because it's easier to be able to have two charts with the buy and sell much quicker right here, and that is easier for me to be able to do. Now the ES and the Nasdaq Mini are both samples of the stock market, so you can purchase into them, you can sell into them, so you can buy. Let me just buy 10 shares. I think I have it set up automatically. Let's see. Oh, one share is actually what it's set up, and this one is set up at one share as well. So I can buy one share, and it should fill up right there. It filled up. Okay, now I can sell that share. I can flatten or I can sell because it's one share. So it's much easier just to say flatten, right? It says I'm up already. $200. Geez, man, if money were that easy to be made, that would be wonderful. So I can buy up here at the E-mini. This is the NASDAQ 100 index futures. And you can see it says, geez, that I'm up $580 already on the day. So I can sell. Now there's an extra step to sell because I didn't click off the auto send. So, and there's extra step to buy as well. So just be aware of that. Now, this was in the trade pattern. Now, analyze. I already showed you how this can come up. Now, let me just go to ZERS so it shows you all the information here. What I like about this as well is that it has an open price, the closing price, the high. The close price is yesterday, so it's not going to be today because it hasn't closed yet. The high, the low, how much volume is traded, a little bit of information on the company, and then financials on the company, annually and quarterly. What the main two lines that I look at here are total shares outstanding versus market cap. Total shares outstanding versus market cap. And as you've seen in videos before, I tell you it's a good to set up a spreadsheet with whatever stocks you're following, 2 to 3 stocks, let's say, on a daily basis, and just keep a pattern. Why? Because as you get more interested into trading and you want to pursue the next level of trading, then these spreadsheets will become very important for those levels, right? So let me just make sure I sold everything. Zero, zero. Uh, let's see here. Do I have anything open? Yep, it seems like I have CSCW open. Everything else is sold. So let's go and sell CSCW. So I don't keep anything open. CSCW. There we go. So I just flatten, and then it has that extra. Wait, I just want to show you. Hold on. So if you want to do it automatically, you click auto send. Boom, flatten. Oh, it only sold one share. So that's weird. Let's try that again. Oh no, it did sell everything. So I'm down $1.40 here. So if you want to keep track of how much you're up or down, you go in here and you can see I'm up $13.79, and that's it. Just creates a clearer image of what I'm doing. This is scan. This is very important. Some people like to pay for it in other softwares, while Thinkorswim provides this for free. There are other softwares that provide similar. I don't know them all. You'd have to search for them on your own. In the previous video, I gave you names of other companies, of other investing brokerage firms. So you'd have to do your own due diligence. Now, this is the Market Watch right now. And these are some of the stocks that I have up right now that I am watching. And it shows you what they are. If you want to learn more about how to utilize this, and you can go in and check. But the last price, net change, bid, uh, ask, volume, open, high, low, 52-week high, 52-week low, and so on. So that information is important to some people, but to others, most people, it's not. It's irrelevant. They don't know what to do. This is the next tab I want to show you. Very, very important tab is the calendar under Market Watch. But before we do that, I just want to go over each and every one. See alerts. You can set an alert if a stock goes below a certain price, which I did that for you, then you can set an alert here to alert you to purchase if you'd like to do it that way. Visualize. Should be a heat map, yep, of where most of the action is. Now, this morning as we started, it was all red, but you can see all the greens now coming up. And the bigger sectors, the bigger stocks are down red. So you see Apple, Alibaba. I don't know what TSM is. I'm waiting for it to load. As it loads, we'll see what it is. But Taiwan Semiconductor. So um, it's good to be able to just see what the overall market trend in financing rates. I've never really used that. Calendar is very important. This tells you what the earnings winners are for the day, who's going to have earnings today, who's doing a stock split. So this is earnings. So today you can see all these, they all come up down here. Maybe it's one of the stocks that you're in, maybe it's not. Riot is one of the ones that I could see right now that I have invested in the past, or traded, I should say. Trade, because invest means for the long term. um Dividend splits, if any stock is going for a split, it can come up here. Very important, because if there's a split, I would get out of it quickly, because you don't know, these splits usually don't have great news. Econo day event, this is good to know. So 5-year note auction, there's news on that. I don't think that news is that important to you, but it is important for other people. ETF dividend, nothing dividend in general. So there's one ALCO. That's pretty good, whoopee. And if you want to see everything all together, there it is. So that's very important. Under charts, you have two different sections of charts. Number one, this is the chart that I'm looking at. Actually, three. This is one chart that I'm looking at. Now, let's go to another view. Flexible grid. I like flexible grid. You can see here 4 different charts. You can set them up however you want. You just put in the symbol in here. Let's say you want NEO. NEO is one of my long-term investments. Let's say you want plug. That's another one of my long-term investments. uh, NCLH, Norwegian Cruise Lines, is another one of my long-term investments. And you can pick up anything else. Apple, it's on my watch list. I might pick up some today. I'm waiting for it to try and see if it gets to 116 or so, and it's going down. And then it eventually is going to skyrocket. So this is another way to look at charts. Now you want to go back. I just want to show you product depth. I've never used this. If you want to know how it's used, you can search for it. They have the education center. It'll tell you what it is. So charts here. We only have one chart set up. If you want to change the amount of charts, then you go in here and look how many charts you could have. You could have that many charts in there. And they all pop up, and you can have different names for each one. I've never really used that many. I usually use about 8. So that's right here, 8 charts. And you can do with these charts what you want. You can open this one if you want. And the side, the one that says side is going to be closed. You can pull it down if you want. So there's plenty to do in here. Now, one of the things that I need to remind you is that if you ever have a setup and you like it, you should save the grid as, all right? You should save it, whatever name you want to name it. So let's name it STK MKT tips, right? So there it is. So now there it is. Now, let's say you wanted to see one specific screen at a time. Let's just put some stocks in here. Apple, Zers, Livex. I'm just looking at the right and putting them in here. The left, sorry, the left chart. GIGM, BBIG, FENG. All right. So if you wanted to look at one of these charts on, maxed out, you go click the right button and you go down to maximize sell. And then you see it. Now this is overlapping. Each one would need to be changed right up here so that it doesn't overlap volume. Let me see. No, wait a minute. It was correct, set up correctly. What did I do? So there it goes. I don't know why it came out the on top before, but it was supposed to have come out like this. Then you can have live news. You can have whatever you want in there. Now, if you want to set it up with the active trader like the other one was set up, and you only want to have 2 charts, you can do that as well, and you could take out whatever you want from here. Let's just say take out news. Let me just see what the chart has got to stay. Without the chart, I'm hopeless. So there we go. So this is very similar setup. You can expand the chart this way. You can have the volume is right underneath. If that doesn't bother you, then you can leave it the way it is. It's everyone's different, so you do accordingly to what best describes you, and then you can save it again. The chart, save, show. Let's see, where is it? Where do you save this? In here, is it? So save grid as, and then you can always open it. So if you want to open it, so it comes up right here anyhow. So it's right there, and then it'll go back. It'll get me out of here, and it'll go to the other one. Boom. So again, if you want to maximize any of these cells, you right click, you go here, and then if you want to look at each and every company that we put up, I think it might have erased because I don't have it saved. So yep, it erased. So you can see all the companies. It'll eventually pop up because there's 8, 6. There we go. So there it is. So unless you save it, it's going to get erased. Just like you saw, I had nothing there. It takes a little bit of time to set this up. It took me a little bit of time to set it up. But in the end, I feel it's well worth it. There's some people who don't like this software because it has a lot of gadgets, a lot of options, a lot. So that's why in the next section, we're going to look at 2 other softwares, and that will assist you and guide you in making your own decisions. So for now, I've pretty much covered everything that there is to cover in Thinkorswim. The only thing that is probably missing for your perspective is that there's another software where you have to deposit money, not into this one. It's the thinkorswim.com is where you deposit money, and then you have the software where you have to download it and you trade. So, but they're very helpful. They usually answer the phones and they'll assist you in all that setup and so on. All right. So that's it for stock market tips. This section was amazing. At least it was to me. I thought I was very psyched at learning this because when I had to learn this, it was a lot of information. This is Stock Market Tips, Secrets to Success by David Diaz.